mindset transforms your career into a children's book. My name is Tiffani Teachey, publishing consultant, author, TEDx International speaker. And I want to ask you the question, what if I told you that your mindset holds the key to your success as an entrepreneur? Something to think about. Put in the chat. What are the common ways people typically pursue to secure a raise in their career? What are some ways? Let's think about it. What are some common ways that people are trying to, secure their raise in their career? Well, I want to make sure that you know, yes, those are some ways that people are trying to pursue their career. But have you thought about writing a children's book? Let me know. Put in the chat. Have you ever thought about writing a children's book? So taking ways people have been able to try to pursue a raise, but also thinking, what are ways in which you could do it through writing a children's book? Well, I'm Tiffani Teachey. I'm excited to share with you today my journey and how I can share with you how you can become a children's book author through just thinking about having the business mindset and transforming it into your career into a children's book. Well, let's see. I started out a curious girl in math class, asking the questions, dealing with boys, being with the math and science classes. Sometimes it was challenging because girls would always be insecure or not feeling like they're just as knowledgeable. But actually, we as girls were knowledgeable, just as capable as the boys. And so I was that curious girl asking questions in math and science. But I had those challenges sometimes with teachers questioning me when I asked those questions. And I had to let them know, hey, I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about and know what I'm learning is going to help me in my curiosity. Now, I grew up with parents. One was an educator. My mom was the educator. My dad was an entrepreneur. And so I witnessed both their ways of making sure my brother and I were able to get the education as well as the hard work through learning from the entrepreneurship side of things for my dad. Now, I will say when we talk about the mindset of a business owner and entrepreneurship, I saw some of the obstacles that happen when it comes to the whole having a business, having the employees, having to deal with personalities, dealing with the finances, dealing with all of those different obstacles. So I witnessed it growing up with my father being an entrepreneur. So I saw the pros and the cons of becoming an entrepreneur. Business mindset played a role with it, and his endurance, his resiliency, perseverance, all played a role with it, with being a business owner. And I was able to witness that. Now, I say that to say, as I continued on, I became an engineer, a mechanical engineer in a male-dominated field, which allowed me to see, okay, I made it as far as being able to represent in that field, regardless of any obstacles that I had to take. And I knew that what I was walking into and wanted to be challenged is why I decided to go into engineering. But it was a male-dominated field. And so when I looked at it and I would go and talk to the kids about how they could become an engineer, show them how they can become it, I saw that there was a lack of representation in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, education. Well, it took that opportunity as far as knowing I need to put this in writing. I need to make sure that these kids see themselves in these books, see some representation, see themselves in these careers, especially in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, because STEM representation matters. So I saw the lack of representation in it and said, let me put it in writing. And so when I saw that lack of representation, I said, okay, put it in writing, create a children's book, and I saw the opportunity. So I became an international best-selling author. I became a TEDx international speaker with the University of South Africa. It allowed me to leverage that book. And what the book is, What Can I Be? STEM Careers from A to Z, which is an alphabet book. I turned that into my career, wanting to see kids be exposed to it and see how they can grow and learn from it as well. And knowing that I'm making an impact through taking my career and putting it into writing and writing a children's book. I had increased credibility and authority, paid speaking engagements. All of that played a role when I decided, okay, despite the business side of things, despite all the obstacles that might happen, becoming an author is a business. I took what I've learned in my journey and allowed it to say, okay, I can become this business owner through becoming an author. There were some ups and downs in this journey, but I know that I was making an impact. I've been able to be on different platforms, from the TEDx to Forbes to Fox, CBS, NBC, and be able to know that I'm making an impact by leveraging my talks with STEM representation, utilizing the children's book to then take it from an alphabet book to a color and activity book to a teacher's guide journal, and now a series of them being able to take the STEM Crew Kids Adventures, building a balloon powered car. And so I'm taking it to the next level, getting my story out there. And that's what's key when you're talking about taking your career, transforming it, business mindset into a children's book. So what we'll cover today is we're going to talk about, number one, how to overcome self-limiting beliefs for business owners' success in a children's book transformation. Number two, how to cultivate an entrepreneur mindset for crafting career-based children's books. And then number three, how to develop an entrepreneur or business owner mindset with resiliency in crafting a children's book. So the self-limiting beliefs, cultivating that mindset to crafting the children's book, and then number three, the resiliency side of things when it comes to that business mindset. All right, so let's go into number one. How to overcome self-limiting beliefs for business owners' success in children's books transformation. Research has shown and indicates that individuals who successfully conquer their self-limiting beliefs, they gain innovation, they gain critical thinking. So having those two are valuable traits for business owners looking to transform their careers into children's book ventures. So innovation and critical thinking are different things that come out of it when you're talking about conquering your self-limiting beliefs. And so I want you to consider that regardless of whatever thought process that you might have, or when it comes to that business mindset, we want to make sure that you conquer your self-limiting beliefs and you grow in innovation, critical thinking, and those traits will guide you to be able to transform those careers into a children's book. Now, let's transition to number two, how to cultivate a business mindset for crafting a career-based children's book. So how do we do it? I got a strategy for you. Number one, let's reflect. You got to reflect on what have you done in the past? What experiences have you dealt with? With that reflection, you're able to see and evaluate all the things that you've taken part in your life. Next up, number two, influential figures. Who all has made an impact in your life? What influential figures are out there to maybe contribute to your careers, contribute to your path in life, your experiences in life? So reflecting, influential figures, and now let's take it to the next level of number three, drawing on inspiration. When I talk about wanting to take your business mindset, transforming it, and crafting a children's book, you got to draw inspiration. What is your why? You always got to consider, what is your why? Why do you want to go about transforming it into a children's book, taking your career? Is it because you want credibility? Do you want increased income? Do you want to build a legacy? Is there an opportunity for you to make an impact? Draw on your inspiration. So you've reflected, you looked at influential figures, you're drawing on inspiration, and now it's all about crafting that children's book. Now, when you're talking about crafting the children's book, think about it. What is the impact that you're trying to make? What story are you trying to tackle when you want to craft that children's book? So that's the number four, crafting the children's book in that strategy. Once you've crafted that children's book, know that number five, that you're molding future leaders. Future leaders, you're making an impact. And you go back to the reflecting, the influential figures, the drawing, the inspiration, your why. You've crafted that children's book, and now you're molding future leaders. And so that's the strategy I would say you take when it comes to being able to know that you're crafting and you're making the impact with your business mindset, transform it into a children's book. Now, let's go into how to develop entrepreneurial resilience in crafting the children's book. Resiliency is making it through despite all obstacles. Everybody has some obstacles that they've had to tackle. Resiliency is one of those things when it comes to having that business mindset. So when you're developing your entrepreneurial resilience, it's not just about overcoming challenges. No, it's more than that. It's about using those challenges to your advantage and constantly seeking opportunities for growth and impact. And that's what it's about, being resilient. How are you taking those challenges, taking advantage of them to then constantly seek those opportunities for growth and impact? That is something you definitely have to consider. Now, I want to share just in general when we're talking about the resiliency. Yes, I was able to become an author, but it was a mindset change. I had to realize that, okay, despite all that I'm going through, working a full-time job to then becoming a business owner, it takes a mindset, a business mindset. It takes resiliency. Despite all that you might come up with being a business owner. I talked about my dad being an entrepreneur. Those are things to think about when you become an author, when you come on these different platforms. I was able to turn my career into a children's book. Science, technology, engineering, math, STEM. I turned what I did as an engineer into a children's book. I started with an alphabet book. I did A's for astronaut, C's for civil engineer. I did R's for robotics engineer, W, web developer. But I took those and now I'm like, okay, parents can take these books, take it to the next level, utilize these books. Now they can build bridges. They got towers. They can do robotics, coding. And then I have the STEM Crew Kids Adventures, building a balloon powered car. Now I have a whole series. So you can take those children's books and take it to the next level of a series, alphabet book, color and activity book, and take it to the next level. Now you can take that book, inspire these kids, and be able to see the impact that you're making. And that is what I've been able to do by turning my career into a children's book and having the business mindset. I've also been able to do cultural and social relevance when it comes to the resiliency of things, of the business mindset. I've got it now translated in Spanish, French, Swahili, and Italian. Not only have I been able to craft it and been able to generate the different types of books, but also been able to take it globally and be able to take it to that level. Opportunities I have gotten with doing a children's book. I've had increased paid speaking engagements. I've had engagements in media platforms as far as publications, additional published books, as you've seen. Now, I've also been able to take it to the next level of leveraging the book. That is what I want you to do when you think about whatever book you're trying to do as far as a children's book, leveraging that book. I've been able to get on these platforms. I've been able to become a podcast host. I've been able to become a radio show host, Read It Right radio show host, and take it to the next level, be in different media platforms. Those are different things. I've traveled Italy to having my book out there, to different countries in Africa, from Ghana to South Africa to Botswana. Taking it to the next level has been amazing, but you go back to your why. Why is it that you want to take it to the next level of having your mindset, being business mindset, transforming it into a children's book? And that is something key that I want you to take advantage of, because you can take it and take advantage of it through all that your experiences have been. Utilizing this business mindset, resilience, regardless of all that you've accomplished, definitely consider that when you're talking about doing that. So how many of y'all have found value in this information? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. Let me know. Have you found any value in this information? Any takeaways? Well, I want you to know the world of children's books has the incredible power to elevate careers and inspire young minds. So I want you to take this information that I've been able to share with you and definitely consider it. If you ever thought about it, maybe it's your time to think about it. And let me go back to the topics just to remind you what we covered. We covered number 1, how to overcome self-limiting beliefs for business owner success in children's book transformation. Number 2, how to cultivate an entrepreneur mindset for crafting career-based children's books. And number 3, how to develop entrepreneurial resilience in crafting the children's book. So hopefully you've been able to have some takeaway from the experience that I've been able to share with you, the journey I've taken, and now you can take your experience, take it to the next level using a business mindset and transform it. So what is it costing you by not becoming an entrepreneur, a business owner, an authorpreneur with a children's book? What is it costing you? Well, I have something for you. I have a free ebook for you. It's going to take you to the next level to make sure that you are continuing to grow in the thought process. Did you know that 200 million Americans dream of becoming a published author, but only a few achieve this success? I want you to learn why this is happening. So I want you to download the free ebook, 5 tips for publishing the right book, avoiding common mistakes and finding success as an author. And this is going to take you to the next level. So how do you get it? You go to www.publishtherightbook.com. Once again, www.publishtherightbook.com. And then you'll be able to learn 5 tips for publishing the right book. I want you to avoid those common mistakes and find success as an author, specifically a children's book author, as I've shared with you today. There's a quote by Oprah. The true decision is how will you use yourself and everything that you have been given to serve that is greater than yourself. That is when real empowerment will happen. Okay? So once again, grab that free ebook at www.publishtherightbook.com. I want you to know that this is going to allow you to learn 5 tips for publishing the right book. I want you to avoid those common mistakes in finding success as an author. So go to www.publishtherightbook.com. I hope you've been able to take on so many different ways that you can learn more about how you can transform the business mindset into utilizing your career into a children's book. And so if you want to take it to the next level, go to www.publishtherightbook.com. Once you get that ebook, then it'll take you to the next level where if we need to talk further, do a discovery session, see how we can get you going, get that children's book, it'll get you scheduled for that as well. So once again, go to www.publishtherightbook.com. My name is Tiffani Teachey. And once again, I'm a publishing consultant, owner of Inspired Authors Publishing Agency, and an author, TEDx international speaker, STEM advocate, and been able to turn my career into a children's book. And I want to make sure that you also are able to take that to the next level and turn your career into a children's book through having the business mindset. So hopefully you've been able to have some takeaways and that the sky's the limit. I want to see some more children's books out there. And if so, if you haven't already, www.publishtherightbook.com, get exposed to how you can take it to the next level. Remember your why. Why is it that you want to transform it into a children's book? My why is because I want to definitely STEM representation matters. I didn't see the representation, so I was able to build the credibility, leave a lasting legacy. And those are things to think about when you want to be able to transform your career into a children's book and utilizing the business mindset. Because once you become an author, it is a business. And I had to realize that. And I know that you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. So if you haven't already, www.publishtherightbook.com. I want to see some more children's books out there that are transforming lives for our future young leaders. And you can do it too. And I know that you can. And if you want more, I look forward to the journey of seeing you do it. Tiffani Teachey here. And I help being able to get inspired authors to be able to publish those books to make a lasting impression. And I want to make sure that you get exposed to that as well. Thank you.
To get